Hi everyone, I'm back in the kitchen and today I'm making a local dish. I'm making scouse. Now the word scouse is the traditional food for Liverpool. I live in the Liverpool city region. I'm not from here. I'm from 45 miles northeast in Blackburn, and we've got a similar dish which is meat and potato pie. The beauty with scouse is there's no fixed recipe for it. It comes from the word lobscouse, which is a German, a Scandinavian word, and it was a dish brought by sailors coming into the port of Liverpool and adopted as a local dish. And it's even given word to the term scouse and scouser to describe the people of the Liverpool city region. Now, traditionally, lamb's being used. I'm using lamb today. Lamb was historically used because it was cheap. I wish it was cheap now, but you can use any sort of meat, and it is really the perfect leftover dish. What I'm putting in this: lamb, an onion, some carrots that were grown in the garden, and a phantom parsnips grown in it, so that's going in. To thicken it up a little bit, I'm putting some split red lentils, and on the recommendation of my mother-in-law, who makes a mean pot of scouse, some pearl barley to thicken it up. So I'm going to start by this lamb from Tesco. It's a bit fatty, so I'm going to just try and reduce some of the fat off it and render it down. Get rid of the fat to make it slightly healthier. But you can put whatever you want in it. Historically, there was a version called blind scouse, which didn't have any meat in it because people couldn't afford it. So this can be a vegetarian dish as well. So if you want to skip the meat, use exactly the same method. Bit of flour as well to go on the meat just to coat it when I'm frying it up. So let's get the party started. I'm going to fry it, then I'm going to be putting it in the slow cooker. One tip if you've got a slow cooker is pour some boiling hot water in it before you get going with it, because this cold, it takes ages to warm up, but boiling hot water in it for 5 minutes brings the temperature of the slow cooker up. So yep, let's get making a pan of scouse. So with a bit of oil in the pan, we can now start to fry off the lamb. Slam in the lamb, as they used to say on TV. We want to brown it off, but we also want to render some of the fat off it. It is quite, I don't think it's the best quality lamb is this, but hey, it doesn't matter what meat you use in the scouse. It's up to you. Put a bit of light on, you can see what I'm doing now. You can see the fat running off the lamb. And that's why we're reducing it. Lamb can be quite fatty. This isn't the best quality lamb. That's why I'm going to be cooking it for hours. Turn the heat down a bit. So what I'm going to do now, using a slotted spoon, I'm just going to take this lamb out and let the fat drain back into the pan. Again, minding the old arteries as much as I can. But we don't want to get rid of the flavour, to be honest. So I'm going to take trying to get it out of the fat. So there is quite a lot of lamb fat in there. That's going in the bin, not down the sink, because we don't want any fat bergs. But we've still got all the flavour in the pan. So I'll put it back on. And back. Turn the heat up again, and in goes the onions. Use red onions, white onions, it doesn't matter. I used a white because it was the first one I grabbed out of the cupboard. That's how random this is. One thing I forgot to mention, potatoes go in later. Forget about the potatoes for now. Basically, you make a lamb stew, or a meat stew, or a veggie stew. Whatever. That's the beauty of Scouse. Whatever you want to put in it, it's entirely up to you. That actually smells really nice. The onions frying off. Oops. The onions frying off in the just a bit of lamb juice. Just a lamb fat in there. It smells lovely. So whilst we reduce that, I'm going to make the gravy. Any sort of gravy you can use. Lamb gravy, beef gravy. I'm just using some beef stock. Simple as that. You don't have to buy anything especially for this. If you're doing it veggie, you can use veggie stock. That's the beauty of Scouse. So let's put the carrot and the phantom parsnip in. Always fascinates me that growing vegetables at home and you get some random things growing in it. Grown flowers, and I've got the compost from my dad who's a keen gardener, and there's potatoes growing in it. And what I do when I'm frying off veg is put a little bit of water in it. And that also lifts some of the lamb fat. I wish you could smell that, I really do. We're going to season it a little bit later on, so don't worry about that. Turn the heat up. I'm not a big fan of induction hobs, by the way. I do prefer my old gas hob, but hey-oh, I'm not having it ripped out. At this stage, I will add the pearl barley. Why not? Or else I'll forget to put it in. And the lentils. The lentils will basically vanish. It'll just become part of the gravy. But now they'll start now to absorb some of the juices. There's an almighty good smell of lamb and fried vegetables in here. So I'm going to put the lamb back in. There we go. And next, we're going to put the gravy in. So we've got the slow cooker ready. We've made the gravy. Let's use it. Hot water, of course. Oxo beef stock. Bisto. And Worcester sauce. If you are American, it is called Worcester sauce. Worcester, not Worcestershire. Worcester. Impress all your American friends with your translation of Worcester sauce. So before I do that, I'm going to put a bit of flour on it, just help it thicken up. And that'll be the dough, back in the tick. It was Royal Mail delivering something. Whenever I'm doing something, the door rings. Whether it's a Teams call or... Anyway. Salt and pepper, season to suit it, to be honest. Season it as you go along. Salt and pepper. Now, for the gravy. Give it a good stir, make sure it all starts to hubble and bubble. So I'm making about a pint of gravy in metric. What's that? 550 millilitres in. New money. So I'm just going to let that sizzle for 5 minutes and then into the slow cooker. So let's get it in that slow cooker, shall we? So you can see, basically you make whatever stew you want, and that's the absolute brilliance of dishes like this. Chuck in what you want. Don't like to waste any gravy, to be honest, so clean the pan and the gravy jug with a bit of hot water. Let's get all that flavour out, shall we? Because it's all about taste and flavour, this. You can have all your fancy cooking in the world. If something tastes good, who's bothered? Who's bothered what it looks like? Right, so splash it on the lid there. Slow cooker. Hot setting. It's 12. Just leave the lid on. Leave the lid on. With things like this, leave the lid on. I'll probably want to be eating about 6 o'clock this evening. So this is going to cook for 6 hours. 3 hours near the end, I'm going to do the potatoes. So I've got to grab a bit of lunch now. And I've got to get back to work. Please about this thing. Meals like this. Quick to make. Leave them in the pot. Get on with your work if you're working from home. So I really like cooking things like this. So, okay, everything's bubbling away quite nice in the slow cooker. Now for the potatoes. I don't know how I put the camera at that angle. I've been down so you can see the potatoes. Any type of potatoes. The quantity I've got is all I've got left in the bag. Put them in small pieces. Now, I want you to parboil them 10 minutes. I don't want them going to mashed potato, but then again, I don't want them being rock hard. So, when I managed to get up out of the picture, there you go. 10 minutes, parboil the potatoes. So we've parboiled the potatoes for about 10 minutes, and simply all we do now is add to this. This is just lamb stew. It tastes absolutely lovely. So in we go. Stir it in. If it gets too dry, don't be frightened to put some water in it. Put all them spuds down. Give it a good stir up. Make sure everything's submerged and down so it cooks. And leave for as long as you want. My wife is home from work in about 3 hours. Probably stir every hour. And that's it. That's the scouse. Dead easy. It's probably taken me less than half an hour to make, which out of my working day, I'm flat out at the moment at work, I'm working from home. It's good. Healthy, nutritious evening meal, dead quick during the working day. So, there you go. Pan of scouse. Can't wait till it's ready. And there we go, the finished article. All cooked. Really nice consistency. The potatoes have gone soft, but it's not turned into mash, which is what you want. And you can serve it with whatever you want. We had it with mushy peas or garden peas or both. But traditionally, you have it with red cabbage. I had some, and the sell-by date was about 5 years gone, so I didn't risk it. But it was absolutely delicious. And thanks for watching.